Hi, welcome to Raw and Real with Robin. Why should you care about watching or listening to Robin? Well, I am a mental health counselor. I have been serving my community for over 17 years, proudly. I have been helping drug addicts, any type of addiction. And I have been afflicted within my own life with some issues that I help people with, but can't help my family. So, let me start a little bit at the beginning, so everybody can figure out or understand who is Robin, why should we listen to her. First of all, I would like this platform to help people. I want to help outside of my community. I mentioned from the start drug addiction. Personally, I am afflicted with chronic pain. Two different areas that for millions of people out there will understand as I continue to talk, post videos that are debilitating, not only to ourselves, but our family unit. With all that being said, I have two sons that struggle with addiction. So about 6-7 years ago, one of my sons is in and out of incarceration for too long, on and off. She's probably about 15 years on and off, maybe 12. His last bid was the longest. It was a little over 4 years. At that time, I started to record our conversations while he was incarcerated. The premise to this was to help people when he got out. Help with addiction, understanding components, dynamics. Also at that time, unfortunately, his younger brother fell to addiction himself. So I think it was the perfect storm for us to start recording. In the interim, fast forward, about 2 years ago. It's easier to say that than fast forward. It was about 2 years ago. Well, actually, this November will be 3 years. Again, I unfortunately suffer with chronic pain. I host Thanksgiving, and I could not host Thanksgiving this particular year. I have very bad neck and back pain. I've had a previous surgery already. I was in bed in a spasm. For me, what happens is when my neck goes out, I cannot move. Sometimes I can't move for 4 days. So needless to say, I have 20 people out in my home, and I'm in bed. I'm a faithful person, so I want to bring that up now because people are going to see behind me religious symbols. This is not a religious platform. I want to get that out there. It's not. But I am going to incorporate this room, which is my serenity room. But we'll get back there a little while. Let me finish this part with Thanksgiving. So I'm a faithful person. Again, I say to God, why is this happening to me over and over again? Now I can't host a holiday. And it came to me, however people want to look at it, but I felt I was being told, record your story. Go live. Help people suffering with chronic pain. Now, I already had the idea, and I was actually already working on the addiction with my son. So now, about 6 years ago, I started recording with him and I on the phone. Okay, fast forward. Now we fast forward, and it's chronic pain, so now I'm focusing on myself. Because along the way with this footage, a part of what I want to do is help with mental health tips. So I'm going to give my first tip, which is we have to be good for ourselves before we could be good for others. I struggle with that, even as a counselor. So I shelved my chronic pain because, yes, He came home from his long bid and unfortunately fell to the demise again of addiction, along with his brother. So I had two people using at the same time. My people and my children petrified they're going to die. So I deterred, God forbid, my story. I went back to addiction. This has been happening on and off for about a year and a half. It's done. It's over. Robin has decided we're going to implement both, along with mental health tips and the incorporation of this room behind me. Because truthfully, if I did not have this room behind me, which I call my serenity room, I come in here, I read, I meditate, I pray, I cry, I scream. I don't know how I would be dealing with life on a general basis. I highly recommend, suggestion number 2, I guess, quick on, that everybody tries to have a space for themselves. A timeout. Okay, so now, again, I'm putting this out for the world to see, and I, of course, have some concerns. I'm going to get judged. I have a private practice. What is this going to do to Robin and her family? Well, the bottom line to all of this is I really hope I could help. I guess it's innate in me that I want to be a helper. Probably why I went to school and put myself through a master's degree. I'm not fond of school, but we did that. So my plan now is to go back and start where I began, which was with my eldest incarcerated. I again want to help across the board with addiction, dealing with addiction, all the components, enabling all the stuff that we shouldn't do, but we do. I've done it. I probably have done it even recently. I know not to do these things. The chronic pain, all the components that come with that. I mean, debilitation, feeling judged. Do people believe me? I mean, it's so much, and I know so many people out there could relate to these issues. This is why I'm pushing the button and I'm going live. And raw and real to me couldn't be any truer, because unfortunately, this is what you're going to see. Now, Robin is not a Debbie Downer. I don't want to be a Debbie Downer. So, though a lot of the footage is going to be upsetting, I have quite a bit from his incarceration to my chronic pain, back to my kids and using and rehabs and detoxes and whatever. So, we could all help each other. I would like a platform. I would like to obviously be seen, but then I would like questions and answers. So I'm going to try to figure that out along the way. I'm a little bit of a perfectionist, so probably why this is taking a little longer than I wanted it to be. My website is being updated, so that actually held me back from pressing this button, because I do not want people to see my website, and it's not terrible, but I'm trying to update it. Also, currently, where I stand with, I'll tell you both issues, with myself first. My chronic pain is relentless. So I had a car accident last April, hit from behind again. Why I even had the chronic pain to begin with was 2 car accidents, unfortunately, when I was in my 20s. So this hit from behind last April, needless to say, has messed me up even more. So I'm going through procedures, but people out there suffer from so much, and that's the other thing with my chronic pain versus, and I hate to call it but unfortunately it's a part of me. Sometimes we have to come to terms with things that we don't want to come to terms with that are in our lives. That took me a long time. I'm still working on it. So, and then unfortunately, I do not speak well, even I barely speak to both of my sons. They're adult men. One is going to be 35. One is 28. Like, enough. So, but there has been use. We live on Long Island, New York. I'm not saying there is not addiction throughout the world, because there is. But the fentanyl on Long Island, Suffolk County, New York is killing people left and right. So the paralyzation you feel as a parent, God forbid you're getting a phone call. And unfortunately, I have many friends that have gotten that phone call. It's just beyond overwhelming. And that does not help with chronic pain. I'm going to bring up just one more suggestion, because I'm giving a lot in this brief 15-minute synopsis to introduce myself. We have to understand there's mental pain. I'm sorry, let me reverse that. There's emotional and physical, right? We deal with emotions and physicality. For me personally, and people suffering from chronic pain will understand, emotions, fears, worry, anxiety, stress, that actually hurts me more than jumping on the treadmill and jogging for a half hour. So when I'm in a state of emotional stress, my chronic pain unfortunately flares up. So again, this is my brief introduction, but I am going to end with, following this will be when I first started to speak to my eldest. He was a week away from coming out from incarceration. And boy, oh boy, when you hear this, you would think the kid has it lit. Not going back to prison, he's going to be sober. We're good. And unfortunately, no. So again, why am I putting my life out there? I want to help. I want to help on these two issues. I want to give mental health tips. I want to share the Serenity Room. It's also important to know you're not always going to see me. Now, I'm not looking that fabulous today, but there may be times, and there sure as heck is some video footage where you're going to see me real and raw. This is why we're using these two words here. And it's like rolling out of bed and then trying to just get some footage so I could help. I want to end with peace and blessings. Every time I look forward to helping as many people as I can. And after you see this and you see the initial phone conversations, I'm going to come back. I'm going to post a little update. And then I'm going to continue on the journey of the addiction and the chronic pain. Peace and blessings.
You're going to see your brother Anthony? Yes, you are. And you better call soon, because I got to get on with my day. And I kind of stick around and flounder, and then you wake up and you're a little depressed and you're having anxiety. Yeah, anxiety. Like my dog has anxiety. That's just great. She's a perfect fit for the family. But when she sees her brother for the first time, I don't know how it will be. Right? And my youngest son is in a facility now, and he's dealing with addiction. So life's just a bowl full of cherries. Well, I really would like for him to call soon, because I have things to do today. I have to work and clean this house and blah, 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 blah. I have a Serenity Room, which I'm going to introduce to everybody. And let me tell you something. That Serenity Room has saved my life. If there's one thing everybody should have in turmoil, it's a serenity room. It could be anything that you want as long as your treasures are in there and it's peaceful to you and serene. You could read in there and rest in there, and it's just quiet space. And have a beautiful serenity room that I am going to introduce. And you always straighten it up and add new things, and you get presents for it, and it's just a safe haven in this crazy, crazy world. Now you could have a serenity room without having to go through all the trauma I've been through. It's just good for every day because there's stress all over the world. Okay, so I may have to get up and do some things. Usually calls between, I guess, 11 and 11:30. But it always really is hard to not know when he's going to call, or sometimes you miss calls. It's just, it really, really stinks and sucks when you're in prison and you have to, you're on the outside and you don't know what's going on in the inside, and you don't know when you're getting a call, and sometimes it'd be 3-4 days I haven't heard from him, and then you could go into a panic. But you have to learn how to survive, which is so, so difficult. It's one of the most difficult things ever. So we hope by sharing our story, we will help a lot of people, a lot of families, bring more awareness to drug addiction and what it does, and bring more awareness to the help that we have to try to give as a society to the people that need it, not to be locked up like animals, because that's how it's, a lot of people are just locked up, and there's no rehabilitation in a lot of the prisons. So what are they doing to them? What are they doing to the inmates? Some come out worse. Okay, we don't want this phone call anymore in our lives. This is a prison phone call. Okay?
Okay.
No, I'm serious.
I know you were.
Wait,
The prison phone call.
I'm done with it. Now there's a whole other component with your brother.
Oh, that adds to the spice.
That adds to the spice of how great my life is, that both of my kids have got problems.
Fucked up.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah, well, fucked up, man.
Okay, well, how are you going to fix that? Are you going to be going to Father Frank as soon as you come home?
Yeah, you're doing a whole lot of things.
Okay, well, Daddy and I do get some concerns with...
Motivational speaker.
What?
Help kids. I said I'm going to be a motivational speaker. I'm going to help kids. I'm going to do a lot of shit. I got a lot of plans.
Right. But we're concerned about sometimes your thought process, because I did talk to Daddy about, what's a comment you made, and I forget what it was. Oh, maybe it was it the clothes? No, it wasn't the clothes. I don't think it was the car. It was something. And we're concerned that that mindset is like almost like an entitlement. That's what makes him afraid. I forget what the story was. I don't think it was the clothes, because maybe it was the clothes. Or how you have to come home all dressed. And I don't know if it was that. I can't remember, so much has gone on. But
Well, how is that entitlement? Listen, if you were away for 4 years wearing green fucking inmate clothing and you were getting out, you wouldn't want to at least put something decent on? I'm not asking for fucking Versace. I'm asking for a pair of jeans. How is that entitlement?
I don't know. We're just, sometimes your mind, maybe entitlement's the wrong way. Sometimes you just say things, I guess, that concerns us. I don't know.
Well, explain, please.
I can't think right now. Well, maybe even like the Mustang. It's like, well, I'm going to drive the Mustang. Well, no, it was really discussed that you were going to drive the pickup. Like, I don't know. Like, we don't want you to feel, we're afraid if you feel like, we don't want you to feel like you have to have the best of everything and then you start doing things that are wrong because you want the best of everything. And then that's where things get screwed up. Like, I spoke to your brother yesterday and he tells me, well, it's first thing comes with, it's all about money. And then, it turns bad after it's all about money. Then he starts, with the other thing, which is bad.
I don't know. But I don't think that my expectations are anything that are unrealistic. I mean, listen. I gave up on the Mercedes. I don't even care. But I have a car that I could drive, and I'm not driving it, and I don't care. I let it go. Whatever. It's fine. But this is the only way that this is how I think about the car thing. And I truly am saying this for the reason that I'm saying it. It has nothing to do with me wanting to drive a nicer car. It has nothing to do with me not wanting to drive a hunk of shit. But I'm 30 now. I am seriously trying to find somebody that I can settle down with and have kids. Like, that's what I want as soon as possible. If I was driving around in that pickup, I could never go on a date. It would be impossible. Who's going to fucking even look my way? So I don't really... It has nothing to do with entitlement, just so much as, I want a good shot at
I get what you're saying with that, but like your daddy picked me up in a piece of crap red pickup, and I still got in the car. Listen, we're just concerned. That's all I have to say is you're so used to, wanting what you get. It's an instant gratification thing. That's the problem. That's the right word. And the instant gratification for you could get you into a lot of trouble.
I think I've slowed down a lot.
All these years have blown by. And I can't believe when you think of the whole thing, what's getting a little stuck in my mind is the time before this where I was sworn to, by no means, after boot camp and Willard, whatever it was, and the year and a half, and then that you went back again.
I know. And I could explain to you right now what's different, but I'd rather you just hear it when I give my speech. You'll understand. I mean, you should know anyway. The difference between everything now isn't. It's not about me. Nothing is about me anymore. I don't make it about me. You heard what I said to Devin, and that is truly how I feel. It has nothing to do with me. I honestly can go on doing what I've done for years. I'm a bottomless pit. I don't feel pain. Sometimes I think that I have sociopathic tendencies, but
that's good.
I'm just saying,
sociopathic tendencies. Why would you say that?
Because I just don't feel. I don't feel a lot of things that normal people would feel. So I feel like that's a little strange. And the thing that made the difference for me is taking it out. Oh, it's not me anymore. I'm not worried about me. I could always do what I've done, and it would never make a difference because I just adapt to everything that I do. But the one thing that has changed about me in a major way is the way that I affect other people.
Okay.
I never really considered it.
Right.
How selfish I am. So it's not about me anymore. I'm not doing anything for me. I'm doing it because everybody else around me deserves a better life, and I play a major part in them being miserable. So that's what changed for me.
Okay. I pray that to be so once you get out of there. And feelings change when you're free.
Nah, not this one. I'm too old. I'm too behind already. And I'm not even in a race to catch up. I just know that I have...
That's a good thing to say, because you don't want to be in a race to catch up, because that could be a demise.
Right, I'm not in a race to catch up. I'm content, but I know where I'm going to be. I know I'm going to be content with it. For the most part, of course, who doesn't want things? Everybody wants things. It's just part of life. But it's the difference between wanting and doing whatever you can, doing anything to get it. That's the difference. I can want whatever as long as I don't act upon it foolishly to get it. Then I'm fine. I'm going to have to save money like normal people. Shit that I've never, I get all that. I'm not really too focused on having. I'm focused on helping. I just need to help people. If I'm helping people, I'll be helping myself, and I'll stay in a good frame of mind. And that always boosts my self-esteem and keeps me in a good place. So, that's what I want to continue to do.
Okay, and you know, you can't play around at all with curfew and any of that at all.
I know. I know that.
They're gonna want
Don't
you in
worry. I know what I
programs.
got to do as far as that goes. I'm very lucky to have this parole officer. He's the one that let me do the repo and work whatever hours. And I didn't even have it. The only program I was going to was Father Frank. He's not a hard ass. He
All
might be a
right,
little
well,
hard
let's
on me now
pretend.
because I had him once before. But
Exactly, right. He may change. So, don't, if he's not lenient and, making you go to anger management, addiction classes, whatever it is, you got to do it all.
I know that.
Okay.
But
All right, I just pray that
I,
this
I,
lasts.
I slowed down, man.
Right, I
I
know.
always rushed to everything and got there and then got nowhere at the same time. I'd always get what I want, get it all in a nice little package, and then blow it because I got it too fast. It never really worked for it. It never meant anything to me. So when I would get it, it wouldn't be important because it came so quickly, and I would lose it all. So I'm gonna move slow, accomplish small goals at a time, get what I want the hard way, like everybody else in life does, and appreciate it. That's all.
Okay. All right, then. So, that's good. And I think, kind of, are you writing any, like, notes for this speech on Tuesday or no? You just going on a whim? Yeah.
Know what I'm doing.
Okay. And I guess you'll, talk to your brother because the longer he stays, the better he'll get. Because what he said to me again
He
is
also is
just.
going to have a bit of an impact on him, so I'm sure he'll.
What?
And for at least a couple more weeks. I said, I'm sure him and hearing me talk about all of this will at least keep him there for a couple more weeks.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Well, the bottom line is he has to figure out what's wrong with him, and you have to figure out what's wrong with you. It's what it comes down to, is both of you. So, and one day at a time for me and your father. But I will tell you that we are at the end. We're at the end. So we pretty much have it made in our minds that if you two can't get it together and something else, God forbid, happens or whatever, we're just leaving. We're packing up and leaving.
I get it. This happening with Devin kind of helped me to realize what you go through. Because even though he's not my kid, he's my brother, and I'm very protective over him. So I feel probably a little bit of what you feel as far as he goes and the helplessness and wanting to do anything to help him and save him and all this other stuff. So, I have a better perspective on what you've gone through, even though it's not as serious as what you've gone through. I get it more now because there isn't really much that I wouldn't do to fucking get this kid to stop doing what he's doing.
Exactly. So now you know a little bit more how it's been around here for, I don't know, 14 years?
Yep.
Is that how long?
Yep.
Right. And dealing with him for 6 now, on and off.
It's kind of surreal, too, that Joe is going to be there, and, like, me and him started together. He's the first person I did coke with. The first person I sold, like, me and him. That was my fucking accomplice in all this.
Yeah, well, let me tell you something. He's doing fabulous. He's clean and sober for 3 years.
I know. It's amazing.
So it can
I'm
be
sure
done.
him being there, helping people every day is a major part of him staying clean. That's always what I thought was, like, the major thing that keeps people on the right path is, being a positive role model for other people that are trying to do the same thing.
Right. No, I know. That's like the show Intervention or anything else. These people are, most of them, reformed addicts helping others. And I still don't know if I could be an interventionist. I haven't looked that up, but I don't see why I can't with all my psychology background.
Well, I was thinking that I'm going to talk to Joe and see if he wants to do the nonprofit with me.
Mm-hmm.
He's already involved. He's already involved. He already knows people. And there's a thing called a fiscal sponsor. Like, before you get a nonprofit, before you have your own nonprofit, you can have another nonprofit sponsor you, and you can receive donations through them just to see if it's going to work. And I know Phoenix House has that set up, so you can probably easily get the sponsorship from them for us to start it. Because I was going to ask Father Frank, but I honestly don't think that he would do it.
Oh no, he's gonna want to wait and see how well you're gonna do.
Right, and plus there's money involved, and he would probably be like, "There's no way that I'm letting you get money."
There's no way in hell he'd be giving you money. Not now. Maybe after a year. All right, well, it's, a good plan, and I do tell people, when I talk about this shit that I think the age is affecting you, but I could be wrong. I would never bet money on my kids right now. I just can't do that. I don't know if I ever can. It's just a one day at a time thing, and you have to figure out what's wrong and why you're doing it.
Right. Well, I gotta make you happy. That's fine. You gotta have some fucking quality of life. So I'll do everything I can, Mom.
Okay. I pray so, and I pray your brother does. I just wanted to only have to pray over one kid, not two. And to this, extent, I pray anyway, but not drugs and, all this.
60 seconds remaining.
Sucks. All right, I'm gonna go then. I love you.
All right, I love you too. You know what size shirts to get me?
Extra large.
All right, thank you.
And 36, 32 pants?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, like not too baggy, but like regular jeans.
Listen, everything with the jeans have changed around here. There's low cut, there's high cut, there's bootleg, I'm just getting you a regular fit.
30 seconds remaining.
All right, I'll talk to you later.
All right.
Love you. It's very difficult to hear you have 60 seconds remaining, and then to hear you have 30 seconds remaining. For years and years and years. So we pray he comes home and does the right thing, and he's going to be home in 1 week from today.